my quilting friends. I am quilting on a real quilt today on my Grace Qnique 14, and I have a new foot to check out. This is a open toe that faces front whenever you have your machine set up like mine, like kind of like a table mounted long arm. So if you're interested in learning more about the foot, definitely contact Grace Company, graceframes.com. So I pulled my bobbin thread up to the surface, and then now I'm going to echo quilt about 1/8 of an inch away around this pair, and I'm going to do, I think, 3 rows of echoing. And this is just going to kind of stabilize the quilt and echo around the pair. It's going to add some texture to the quilt I like. That's really nice too. And then next week I'll show you how I'm filling in the background with many pretty designs. So this is my first step of really getting used to the machine, getting to know it well. And I want to talk through just some of the things that I'm kind of learning how to balance. One of the things is, of course, the speed of the machine, which, you know, this machine really can go fast. Here, I'm going to put my foot down here a little bit and really speed up. You can see I also have to speed up my hands to compensate for that. And I'm also watching out for any kind of stitch issues like skipping stitches or breaking thread, anything like that. I'm just kind of keeping an eye out for that. And I'm not really wanting to break thread, so I'm generally going to quilt, kind of steering the quilt through the machine in a forward direction. That's just my habit. It's not necessarily needed on a long arm because we don't have feed dogs, but I'm just generally finding that I have better looking stitches when I'm feeding this direction. Maybe it's something to do with the foot. I'm really not sure, but I'm just noticing all of those little things, and really the nuances of a machine only become apparent once you actually start quilting real quilts. Once you actually start putting the machine through its paces. And that's just one of those things that you just have to be willing to actually work on a real project. So as I'm echoing around, this is just kind of a visual thing. I'm estimating the space between that printed pair and then where my needle is hopping up and down, is bouncing into the quilt. And I'm trying to keep that roughly 1/8 of an inch distance. So now I've met back up with where I started quilting, where I pulled my thread up, and I'm just going to continue working around the pair again. And the second echo is going to be 1/8 of an inch from the first echo. And it's okay if the lines get a little wider apart and then also get a little closer together, that's okay. But I'm just generally trying to keep these evenly spaced. I'm also just eyeballing, you know, okay, well, is there anything in my way visually on the machine? And this little thread guide here on the front is a little bit in my way, but if I shift my body more to the right and visually I'm looking straight down on the quilt, then that thread guide really isn't in my way so much and isn't blocking my vision. So that looks good. And you can see I'm just rotating around. I've just generally found better stitches whenever I'm quilting forward like this. And I'm not really sure why that is. I am using a variegated thread. This is YLI Variations variegated thread. And it's a very subtle variegated, meaning that it changes colors very subtly. And I really like that. It changes from kind of a very dark green to a medium green, and it only goes to a light green very rarely. And I think that's going to look really, really nice on the surface of this quilt. But I have noticed it has a slight tendency to break. So I'm just keeping an eye out for that and trying not to give it any extra reason to break, such as, you know, quilting backwards for long lengths of time. I think with any machine, you're going to have to figure out the nuances. You know, what can it handle? What causes the thread to break? And really just pay attention to all of those details and just start kind of getting all of that in your head. And one thing I've already noticed, there's a specific sound that this machine makes, kind of pocking noise around the needle whenever the thread's about to shred. And I've already noticed that and picked up on it. And so that's always a sign for me that I need to rotate things around and try a different stitch direction. And that could be something that's just unique to my particular machine. You know, that could be something unique to just the way that I quilt as well. So I'm going to try really putting my foot down here and not shifting quite so much, and really going for speed as I finish up this echo. I'll let you see what that looks like. I'm really going to put my foot down, and I'm not going to change direction. Let's just see what happens. One thing I love is just how easy it is to move and manipulate the quilt with such a big arm. You know, I have so much space here, and this is a pretty long table runner, and I don't feel like I'm struggling to move it around to shift it. It's really, really easy feeling. And then the speed is really nice because I can put my foot down, and then my hands, I can have my hands move even faster and finish up these echoes really quickly. So I'm going to just finish up with 3 rings of echoes, just like this. I think that really sets off the pear shape. And then I'm going to fill in the background of this quilt with lots of different designs. And here's what the different designs look like. You can see all these beautiful quilting designs, and I'm going to show you how to quilt these next week. Don't forget to post your questions and comments below this video. I want to make videos for you, so if you're curious about something on this Grace Qnique machine, definitely ask in the comments below, and I will film a video just for you to answer your questions. So I hope that you're enjoying this series as much as I am. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on the next video coming next Sunday. Until next time, let's go quilt.